Bahiya went out to the sea with his friend. After his ship sank, Bahiya washed up on the shore. He tied a plank to his body, got a hold of a bowl, and sat in a place where people could see him. Passers-by gave him food. Later, people took him for an arahant and praised him. Some brought clothes for him to wear, but he refused, fearing that by wearing clothes, people would give less to him. Besides, because some said he was an arahant, he mistakenly came to think that he really was one. He came to be known as Bahiyadaruciriya. Once Bahiya had tasted praise and adoration, he forgot that he was not actually a worthy being. In order to continue to receive praise, he continued to trick the people. He did not think of the consequences and became more and more attached to this new false identity. It just so happened that MahaBrahma, the highest god of the world, decided to check on Bahiya due to them being friends in a past life. MahaBrahma suddenly felt the need to check on his old friend and saw him going astray. In a past life, during the time of the Buddha Kassapa, 7 monks were fed up with the decline of Buddhism. They decided to dedicate themselves to intense practice and were willing to risk their lives to do it. They agreed to strive diligently in their practice. If they failed to attain enlightenment, they decided they would die on that mountain. If they succeeded, they would use their supernormal powers to go up and down the mountain. The oldest monk was able to become an arahant after the first night. He flew into the town to receive alms and came back to share them with his monk brothers. However, the other monks responded, "We do not want to eat food that we have not earned. We will continue our practice, and we will only eat if we achieve our goals." On the second night, another monk became enlightened as an anagami, or non-returner. He also returned with food for his monk brothers, but they rejected it as before. The other 5 monks were not able to attain any level of enlightenment and eventually died from hunger. The arahant monk passed away and realized nibbana. The anagami monk was reborn in the Brahma Loka. The other 5 monks also went to the Brahma Loka after their deaths. After their time in the Brahma Loka was over, they were reborn in the time of our Buddha. One of them was reborn as Bahiya. The Dewa who checked on Bahiya was the anagami who was reborn in the Brahma Loka. So one night, MahaBrahma appeared to his old friend Bahiya and said, "Bahiya, you know in your heart you are not an arahant and not deserving of all the gifts, adoration, and accolades you are receiving. Not only that, you also know in your heart that you do not even know what an arahant is, or how to become one if you wanted to." Bahiya felt ashamed and said, "It is as you say. I now realize I have done a great wrong. Is there anyone in this world who is an arahant? In Sawati, there lives a Buddha named Gautama, who was a perfectly self-enlightened arahant." Hearing this, Bahiya, overcome by his enormous guilt, ran all the way to Sawati. MahaBrahma, seeing his friend's need to repent and walk the right path, used his supernormal power to help him, making the entire journey of 120 yojanas last just one night. The next morning, the Buddha, knowing it was Bahiya's time, made it so that Bahiya found him when he exited the forest. Bahiya followed the Buddha, who was on his alms rounds, and pleaded with the Buddha to give him a Dhamma discourse. The Buddha said, "Since we are on our alms rounds, this is not the right time to teach the Dhamma." Bahiya then pleaded, "Lord Buddha, Venerable Master, knower of truths unknown by man, one cannot know the dangers ahead in your life or my life. In a mere moment, you can die, or I can die, and I would not be able to hear the Dhamma from your lips. Please allow me the opportunity to hear the Dhamma." The Buddha knew that Bahiya had traveled 120 yojana in one night, and that he was overcome with joy at meeting the Buddha. He also knew that Bahiya was too excited to hear the Dhamma right away, so he gave him an opportunity to calm down and collect his mindfulness. After Bahiya's pleading, the Buddha knew that Bahiya was ready. The Buddha taught, "Bahiya, when you see an object, hear a sound, smell or taste or touch something, be conscious of just the object. Do not allow your mind to add your imagination to it. See it as it truly is, in its most basic form, without allowing your mind to add layers of perception to it." In past lives, Bahiya had focused on and studied these concepts. Therefore, in this life, when Bahiya concentrated on the meaning of the Buddha's teachings and internalized the concept, he immediately and fully understood the meaning. The Buddha then told Bahiya to go find robes, a bowl, and other requisites of a monk. Bahiya, in his past lives, had not supported or given convenience to his fellow monks and novices. Therefore, he did not have the Gama for others to support him and give him convenience in his ordination. Because they had supported others in the past, when others wanted to ordain, requisites found their way to them. On his way to get the robes, Bahiya was gored to death by a cow, who was in fact an ogress in the likeness of a cow. When the Buddha and the monks finished their meal, they found Bahiya's dead body. As instructed by the Buddha, the monks cremated the body of Bahiya. Bahiya's remains were not like normal humans, but were instead beautiful relics. His remains were enshrined in a stupa. Observing the relics, the monks asked the Buddha when Bahiya became an arahant. He had only met the Buddha for a few moments and then died soon after. How could he have become an arahant in such a short time? To this, the Buddha replied, "Bahiya attained arahantship while he listened to my instructions on the road when we were on the alms round." The Bhikkhus wondered how one could attain arahantship after listening to just a few sentences of the Dhamma. So the Buddha told them that the number of words or the length of a speech did not matter if the lesson was beneficial to someone, and struck the right chord with them. The Buddha then said the verse, "A single verse that once heard is contemplated and understood is better than 1,000 verses that are senseless and unconnected with the realization of Nibbana." What did you learn from this story? Let us know in the comments. We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads. And consider making a donation to support our Buddhist animation project.